Okay, joining us tonight is our two adversaries who have taken each other on very strongly on this subject. I know both have completely opposite points of view. We're going to begin the debate by getting Dr. Subramanian Swamy and Indira Jaising on, and Vrinda Grover is there. She'll join us in 5 minutes. Ms. Grover, we see you there. But first of all, my commiserations to you, Subramanian Swamy, that, despite your blatant and, very defiant support for Justice Ganguly, you lost and Indira Jaising won. Not that many people, Dr. Swamy, are surprised with that, because many people believe your initial position itself was flawed. So would you like to first begin by conceding defeat, and then I want to go across to Indira Jaising after that. That, you were on the wrong side right from the start, Dr. Swamy.
Mr. Goswami, your mind is very cluttered. My stand was taken on the grounds that there is no inquiry, there is no investigation, and therefore he should not resign. Now, just because Ganguly has chosen to resign doesn't mean my position is wrong. He may have felt that for now, peace and quiet, he has been hounded by people like you. And he was not tough enough like Srinivasan was, who made you lick the dust. So therefore, don't tell me that I have to make amends, or I have to feel that I was in the wrong. I'm absolutely right. He should not have resigned. There was no right for anybody to ask for his resignation. When there's no inquiry, there's no FIR. Just because somebody has made an allegation doesn't mean that he has to step down.
Swamy, you resorted to the worst kind of desperation. Though I don't want to quarrel with you.
What do you mean by desperation? I just made a stated position.
No,
your mind is cluttered. What can I do?
No, and what's it, Dr. Swamy, I listen to you. I request you listen to me.
Yeah, so, I will listen to you.
You've been proven desperate. You've been proven desperate on 3 counts. One, of course, is the basic black and white principle that you backed the wrong man. B, that you disregarded the findings of the Supreme Court panel. 3, you willingly, you carried out character assassination of the victim. And 4th, when all of this failed, and when you realized that you were slowly losing ground as well as public sympathy for what you were doing, you began, going into this wild argument. This is linked to 2G. You made personal allegations against those who support, took you on, like Indira Jaising. She's here tonight. She can hear you. Right? And you made rather loose comments about others who questioned Justice Ganguly, including calling them practitioners, believers in free sex. So all those comments, Dr. Swamy, were completely violative. They were crossing the line. But
you're talking rubbish.
I'm only saying this because, you made certain introductory comments. I just want to get Indira Jaising.
Now you have made series of accusations. I have a right to defend myself.
Yes, I have.
You can't just make accusations, wild accusations, and not expect me to defend myself.
No, you completely do.
You have made wild accusations. I defended a principle. I did not defend Ganguly. I defended a principle, and I stand by that principle.
No, you didn't.
All these wild remarks you make. Of course, the Naxalites believe in free sex, that everybody knows.
Subramanian Swamy, you defended Ganguly. You didn't defend a position.
Come on now. I defended the principle. And if you don't have the brains to see, I was defending a principle. What can I do? Don't be pompous. You have eaten humble pie on so many occasions because of your stupid allegations.
So possible. It is so possible that you can. It's entirely possible, Dr. Swamy, that tonight you will even deny what you said yourself.
What do you mean rubbish?
I want Indira
Jaising. Don't put words in my mouth.
First of all, let's get both of them on the screen.
If you want to hear me, you better listen to me. Otherwise, there's no point in calling me to this debate. You hear yourself. Why do you want me here?
Indira Jaising's point of view.
I'm ready to defend myself. I told you there's a principle, and you violated that principle. You led a lynch mob. You have been doing this. This has become your practice.
Yes, surely it is. But I didn't hear you opposing that practice when the same media questioned Mr. Tejpal.
What do you mean?
I found you on the other side. I didn't hear Subramanian Swamy questioning the media when we went after Raja.
Mr. Tejpal confessed to doing it.
When we went after
the Goa government had set up a FIR. They took a so motu notice. Why the government of India is not filing an FIR? I want to know. What are they to hide?
You can believe.
Oh yeah. Don't make allegations yourself. I can make thousands of allegations about you. including the fact that you have to answer questions. Your channel has to answer questions on Neera Radia's investigation.
Dr. Swamy, can I request just Indira Jaising? You hear Indira?
Yeah, don't make an allegation against me and then go to Indira Jaising.
I'm not. I'm just
if you make an allegation, I have a right to defend myself. Otherwise, there is no equal type principle. This is you don't call me here just to hear your allegations.
Point of view.
And you've got a mind which is so cluttered.
Swamy, you see. Fine, Dr. Swamy, my mind is cluttered and
yes,
the various epithets used, they are like water off a duck's back now.
I'm asking a lynch mob.
I'm asking.
You're making allegations.
I am fine. Dr. Swamy, why are you using such language
what
against me?
What are you making these allegations? Why are you making these allegations?
Indira Jaising.
You want a debate or you want to have allegations?
Well, I want to have a debate, but let's hear the other side.
There's no debate. You're just talking about whatever you want to talk.
Dr. Swamy, let Indira Jaising come in.
Yeah.
She says she was not fighting only for one case. She was fighting for a principle.
You'll get a reply. You'll get a rocket.
When she was fighting.
Can I have my...
Yes. Dr. Swamy, with your permission, Indira Jaising, please.
Yeah, my permission granted.
I would like to make it clear that the issue that I raised is an issue of national importance. And the issue is, how do judges deal with women, whether they be women interns, whether they be women lawyers, or whether they be women staff who are employed in courts. I think we needed to set a benchmark as to what kind of behavior is acceptable and what kind of behavior is not acceptable. And I want to make it clear, there's nothing personal in this for me against Justice Ganguly or for Justice Ganguly. The issue is this interpersonal interaction between working women and the people with whom they work. And I think that is the reason why this issue was of such great national importance. Now, Justice Ganguly has chosen to resign. We are being accused.
Yes.
We are being accused that this was part of some lynch mob behavior. I would only like to say that in a democracy, we all have a right to voice our own opinions. And what I did is I voiced my own opinion. Secondly, I'd like to say, what kind of pressure actually operated on Justice Ganguly to make him resign? I wish he would come clean. I wish we could hear him in his own voice instead of in the voice of somebody else. He must tell us what was the pressure that operated on him that caused him to resign. Until a week ago, the media pressure didn't get to him. Until a week ago, he wrote a very belligerent letter to the Chief Justice of India, virtually accusing the same court in which he's been a judge of being unfair to him. Why did the same pressure, media pressure, not work on him at that time? Why did he not resign then? Why now?
Point.
You know, he obviously...
It's a good point. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm also
obviously
wondering.
He's realized he's...
The only answer that I can find is that he knew the writing was on the wall. He saw the presidential reference. And you know, if Dr. Swamy argues for a principle that we need a hearing, well, here was the opportunity for a hearing. Here it was. Where was the need to resign? You know, he should have gone through due process of law. You know, why are we being told that there was this pressure on him? We have a right to articulate our point of view like anybody else. We have done it. And if that he considers to be pressure on himself, well, so be it. I mean, if he's undergone
he's
some
a
kind
former
of a
Supreme Court judge.
There's nothing any of us can do about it.
I suspect. No, I suspect, and I'm not saying this to provoke Dr. Swamy. Before I come to Vrinda Grover, who also has a very strong point of view on this, I suspect that Dr. Swamy will agree that a former Supreme Court judge is eminently qualified to realize the shallowness of, of any defense put out in his favor. Dr. Subramanian Swamy said, for example.
You want me to answer that?
He said... Yeah, I just want to quote what you said.
What do you mean quote what I said?
I want to quote what you said.
You said that why would a Supreme Court judge resign? You want me to answer that?
No, I said something else as well, which you are choosing not to listen to.
All right, you tell me what else you want to say. I'll answer everything you say.
I said that I think a former Supreme Court judge resigns because he realizes the shallowness of anyone putting out a defense in his favor. For example, Dr. Subramanian Swamy said, quote, that it is extremely important at this juncture to get an investigation completed before any precipitate action is taken merely to make out Justice Ganguly guilty without an opportunity of being heard. This is what he said on December 24th, Dr. Subramanian Swamy.
Yes.
Right? But what he did not say was that that was already done with a 3-member Supreme Court panel.
No.
The panel found there was merit in the charges against Justice Ganguly. And by the way, Dr. Subramanian, so I just
you don't know anything about Supreme Court.
You add a 2G angle to everything.
Come on now. Again, you started making allegations.
Angle to everything,
if you make allegations, I'll make allegations against you.
No, I'm not making allegations. I'm quoting from the cabinet notes. Sir, please don't say things like that.
I told you. I'm ready to answer what is it that you want me to answer?
No.
You're going on hearing your own voice. That's all you're doing.
The simple point here is...
you tell me what you want me to answer.
Indira Jaising is asking you. Indira Jaising, why did he resign? Media
she's got a point of view, I got a point of view. What is she going to answer me on?
No, but she's asking you. You have no answer to her.
All right, let her ask me.
She's asking you.
I will answer.
But she just asked you. You can ask that again.
What did she ask me? What did she ask me?
You can repeat that, Indira Jaising. What did you
I want to know, where was the media pressure last week? Between last week and this week, what was the difference in the media pressure? And I want to know why he has resigned. Why does he not face due process? Why does he not utilize the opportunity to come before the court and put forward his point of view? Why this resignation?
Why don't you ask Ganguly that? Why are you asking me that? I am on a principle that namely that nobody should be condemned without an inquiry. Nobody should be given condemned without an investigation.
But this
was
my his
point
opportunity for an inquiry.
Well, that is for him to answer. Maybe he has a sense of privacy. You people are hounding him. All the media men were sitting outside his house, chasing him wherever he goes.
I get in Vrinda
so he thought maybe by resigning the whole thing to be over. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But the best thing for you to do is ask Justice Ganguly, not me.
Subramanian Swamy, you expected him to continue batting. He didn't. Because he realized
I didn't expect him to do anything. Come on now. Don't put words in my mouth. I never expected him to do anything. I was defending him on the grounds that a man is not to be condemned without a proper hearing, without a proper investigation. That will include you also, Mr. Arnab Goswami. If tomorrow there is an inquiry against you, I will say that it will be a proper investigation.
Yeah, and if a Supreme Court panel... If a Supreme Court panel is not an investigation, finds that there is merit in the allegations.
So, they saw no merit in the allegation. They only said that her statement should reveal the prima facie case. That's all.
The Supreme Court appointed panel.
And therefore, FIR should have been registered. Why the government of India did not register an FIR?
Except Dr. Swamy, even within the BJP, you were isolated. Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj argued for Ganguly to quit his position.
Don't make this a BJP issue. Then I will say what is happening inside the Times now.
Dr. Swamy, I'm not heading a political party.
For having connections with the Am I making an issue of it?
I'm not heading a political party.
I can say many things about. Don't bring BJP
into this. You can say what you want.
This is a pure legal issue. I'm telling you what the legal issue is. What is this got to do with this is not by majority vote. This is not going to be decided by public opinion.
Dr. Swamy, you have made a strong case. Now please hear the other side.
Yeah.
And I request you, let's remain focused and let's not be personal.
Against me.
Okay, anyway, Vrinda Grover. You make allegations, Dr. Swamy.
I will.
Have I stopped you from making them? But I think people will judge.
Are easy to make.
Whether tonight at least, people will judge tonight whether you're on the back foot, at least on this subject.
Of course people will judge. And people have already told me that you have an absolutely correct principle. This Arnab Goswami goes on bulldozing people. You are the only one who puts him in his place. That's what people tell me.
I don't bulldoze. I ask the questions.
You do bulldoze.
I don't
put words in your mouth.
I don't give the difference is, Dr. Swamy, that you expect. Since you are asking, I'll tell you this. The difference is that you expect, sometimes wrongly, that you will get underhand
Now
deliveries
don't
like on other
psychoanalyze
channels
me
on
what I
this channel.
expect. I'll psychoanalyze
and
you also.
I will not blow underhand to Subramanian Swamy. Vrinda Grover, you psychoanalyze me, I shall psychoanalyze you. Vrinda Grover, Subramanian Swamy says he completely stands by what he said.
Don't ask a Naxalite what I
Justice
said.
Ganguly is concerned. No, please. Now, this is not about. I don't know why you make the Naxalite remark.
She is a Naxalite. Everybody knows that. Let her deny it.
No. First of all, everybody has a right to their ideology, including you.
But don't ask her about me.
No, 1 second. Okay, have a healthy debate, sir.
Yeah, let her give her opinion. I have no objection to her giving her opinion. This is a democratic country.
Are you going to stop her from speaking, Vrinda?
I am not stopping her from speaking, but you are asking her about me. And I said she's a Naxalite. What do you expect from her?
I said I have not asked her what do you think of Subramanian Swamy.
That's what you said.
I have said you have heard what Subramanian Swamy says, and can I have your views on what he said? With your permission, Vrinda Grover to Subramanian Swamy, please.
But her views don't count for anything.
Yes.
Arnab, I think today is a very important day to understand that for the first time we've actually had in the legal profession a very young law intern making a very serious charge of sexual harassment against somebody who has held the position of a former Supreme Court judge. These are things that have been whispered about, have been spoken about in law offices. Women lawyers have talked about it, but very rarely has there been an opportunity to have a process through which this has become part of a national public debate. This is part of a struggle to create work environments everywhere, including within the legal profession, for women which are free and there is no sexual harassment over there. So let's focus on that. What have we been doing? And many people on different channels, including eminent lawyers, as well as somebody like the former Chief Justice of India and a former Lok Sabha Speaker, have all been saying due process is not followed, due process is not followed. What is due process under the law? Let's look at that. For purposes of sexual harassment, there are actually two avenues of the law that are available. You can go through the process that the law in turn has chosen to take, and the law allows you to take that option. There was actually, and there actually continues to be even today, no remedy available if there is a sexual harassment by a former or a sitting judge of the Supreme Court. When this issue came to light, the Chief Justice of India took the issue, formed a panel. The panel came to a prima facie finding. It was only after that that there was an articulation and a demand raised both by people within the legal profession as well as by women's groups outside that let's have this person should resign from the post because he's chairing a human rights commission. It must inspire the confidence of all the people, including women, who approach human rights commissions for vindication and for their rights to be respected. The process of presidential reference was begun, due process under the Protection of Human Rights Act, as written in a letter by the Additional Solicitor General. It goes to the Cabinet, the Cabinet clears it. Now the matter has gone back to the President of India. This is due process under the law. And I'm shocked that senior lawyers from the Supreme Court through the evening are saying he has been removed without due process. Where does the due process go thereafter?
Precisely.
A full-fledged inquiry conducted under the mandate of the Supreme Court by a judge nominated by the Supreme Court, where both parties appear, both are examined, both are cross-examined. The veracity of the allegation is checked, tested, and the truth is placed before us. That is due process.
Yes.
Justice Ganguly has chosen to step out and not participate in the due process as the due process was reaching a point where he would be required to appear. He can cross-examine, his lawyer can cross-examine the intern. There is no lynch mob happening here. There is a public debate. Issues of this kind, issues of sexual harassment at the workplace, particularly by people in very, very important, powerful, high offices, have to be articulated. There has been murmurs and women are moved away from those situations. It is high time that this was discussed and spoken about. None of us have ever used any language against Justice Ganguly or condemned him in any way. But yes, a person who is facing a charge like this cannot occupy the position of a chair of a Human Rights Commission. And I wish he had gone before the presidential reference, through the presidential reference, and had participated in the due process. Why has he run away from that process?
I just want to ask you, Subramanian Swamy, you realize the strength of that argument. And I just want to ask you in retrospect, do you regret some of the things which you've said?
Again.
Because I have a bone to pick with you.
Do you regret?
I have a bone to pick with you.
Do you regret being part of the lynch mob?
I have a bone to pick with you.
Allow me. You have forced a judge without an inquiry, without an investigation, to resign. Do you regret being part of the lynch mob? What a question you are asking me. I have stood by a principle. That principle will stand.
I remember.
I fought it in the emergency when you people were crawling before Mrs. Gandhi.
Okay, Indira Gandhi, please, don't make these sweeping comments about the media, because let me tell you,
well, you are all crawling in the media. I know that in the emergency.
No, please don't. Don't make these sweeping references.
What sweeping references? I have seen it in the emergency.
Unfortunately,
don't
all
teach me
the
democracy,
scams,
mister.
all the scams.
I was the one who fought the emergency.
All the scams.
Don't forget that.
All the scams which have been exposed, which you want to put your patent and copyright over, have been exposed by the same media. But this is not about you and me, much as you want to make it.
Then why do you want to ask me a question?
About
why do you want to ask a leading question?
Because Dr. Subramanian Swamy, Indira Jaising wants to respond to you. I have a bone to pick with you, but after Dr. Jaising, yes.
Do you regret for conducting this function?
I have no regrets about the coverage we have done on Justice Ganguly. I have zero regrets. Dr. Swamy.
Well, you've been wrong on so many things. What happened to Mr. Gadkari? Nothing. What happened to Srinivasan? You were defeated. He got unanimously elected. After that you went on the sulk.
You may be, you see, please, one second, you may be a great supporter of Mr. Srinivasan, you may have your own reasons for doing so.
What about your reason? I want to know your reason.
You can't tell me what I'm supposed to do. My job is to ask the questions.
Why did you attack
Can I help it if those questions
and then keep quiet afterwards?
Can I help it if those questions irritate you? Can I help it if I ask you why you assassinate a young woman? Can I help it but to ask you that how can any powerful person, including a Supreme Court judge, get away by doing what he did? And just because he has powerful people like Subramanian Swamy to back him, just because he has powerful politicians and lawyers like Subramanian Swamy to back him, should he feel emboldened? Should the strength and power of Subramanian Swamy not be with that girl instead of being with that judge? Come on, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, please hear the other side. Please hear the other side. Indira Jaising gives you the other point of view. Indira Jaising.
Arnab, first and foremost, we are talking about a person who has occupied the position of a judge of the Supreme Court of India. I cannot understand how, in relation to such a person, we can use a word like forced him to resign. Nobody forced him to resign. He chose to resign. He had the option to resign or not resign. So where is the force coming from? Okay. I think, 1 minute, I think that's a question which only he can answer. So let him answer that question. Secondly, I don't think we should trivialize the issue in this manner. I was telling you earlier that for me this is an issue of national importance. The nation, the country, we are debating what are the norms with which a judge is supposed to interact, be it with an intern, be it with a lawyer, be it with a member of the staff. This is what is at stake over here. This is what is at stake over here. I have nothing personal to do with Justice Ganguly. If it was A judge, B judge, C judge, D judge, today it's Justice Ganguly, tomorrow it could be someone else. We need a system.
I know.
We need a system in place to address these issues. They are not going to be swept under the carpet, and just obviously, the media has a role to play here. I think these are issues which need to be debated within the nation as a whole.
My last question, I have a bone to pick with you, Dr. Swamy, which is actually about some comments that you have made, rather regrettably, on December 16th, 2013. When during the 27th minute of the Newshour debate, you in response to, Kavita Krishnan's comment on the victim, you said that Naxalite who believes in free sex cannot talk like this. I just want to ask you, before I conclude, and we have a political debate coming up next, whether today, in retrospect, you believe
Naxalites
that you
believe
made
in
it
free
too
sex.
personal? No, one second. You made it too personal? You
They're
went
no
too
personal.
far. You tried to hit below the
about
belt.
an ideology.
You tried to
they
hit
don't
below the
believe
belt.
in bourgeois morality. Don't you know that? You seem to be illiterate.
No.
Naxalites believe in rejecting bourgeois morality, which includes free sex.
First of all, I think you are making these vast, unthought overgeneralizations about individuals and about ideologies.
I have to listen to your opinion on this. I have studied Marxism-Leninism in great depth.
I gave you an opportunity, Dr. Swamy. I gave you an opportunity, Sir Vrinda Grover.
Bourgeois morality.
I gave you
believe in bourgeois morality.
I gave you the opportunity. I feel that what you said on that debate was unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
So? And Vrinda
your opinions are worthless as far as I am concerned.
That's all right, Dr.
So don't
Swamy.
give me your opinion.
You
conduct the debate properly.
Just two short points.
I would only remind you. I would only remind you.
You've been chasing people all through your program.
Dr. Swamy.
You hound them.
Dr. Swamy, I would remind you most humbly that today, much to your anger and possibly your great frustration,
I have no anger.
the Supreme Court dismissed two PILs, one of them seeking to restrain the government from proceeding against Ganguly and the other urging them to frame regulations for the conduct of retired judges.
I am
the
asking for an inquiry and you're saying I am preventing.
I am sure you are frustrated about
why
that.
they are not registering an FIR.
Well, now Vrinda Grover has a final response on that particular point, or what you said. Vrinda Grover.
Yeah, just two short points. One, that what we need to understand is that if issues of sexual harassment at the workplace come out in the open, that proves to be a deterrent, both for those who may commit the offence as well as encourages others to come forward and make the complaint. Institutions, particularly like the judiciary, are extremely important in our democracy. That is where women always turn to for justice. These must inspire confidence. I think processes like this strengthen the institution of democracy, they strengthen Human Rights Commission, and they strengthen the faith of people in these institutions, and therefore it is important that we continue this kind of debate. And sexual harassment or any kind of maligning, throwing allegations at women is an old form used to harass, scare, hound women. I think women in India are much stronger and will be able to take this on and carry this forward.
Do you think Dr. Swamy was trying to do that?
I think it's quite apparent what he has been doing on all these issues. I think we should on these. No, I'm not going to pass an opinion on what Mr. Swamy is doing or isn't doing. I think it's quite apparent to everybody that when you don't have a substantive comment to make, then you indulge in things like this.
So, Dr. Swamy, Vrinda Grover and Indira Jaising, we will close this part of the debate. Our political debate is coming up on the other side. Now, why Justice Ganguly has stepped down is something that even Subramanian Swamy is flummoxed with. Maybe
I am not flummoxed with. Don't put words in my mouth. I have defended the right for him to have a fair investigation.
You're angry about it.
And what is the question of flummoxed? I know why he stepped down.
You're upset about it. That's all right, Dr. Swamy.
You chased him. You had a lynch mob running after him.
Well, fine, Dr. Swamy. I thank you, and we are now going into our next story and our next debate. Thank you for joining me on debate number 1. Dr. Subramanian Swamy, please stay on. Yes.